Life is a cruel teacher. It gives the test before the lesson. You wake up on your 60th birthday, and everything feels quieter. Not peaceful, just quieter. The phone doesn't ring as much. The house is still. The calendar is oddly empty, and the mirror reflects a version of you you're not quite ready to claim. You thought you'd feel wiser by now, more secure, maybe even proud. But instead, there's this hollow sense of, is this it? You gave your best years to raising a family, building a career, being there for everyone else. You assumed, when the time came, the world would return the favor, that your kids would call more, that your savings would stretch, that your body would still obey you. But slowly, and then all at once, you realize the illusion of dependency. No one is coming to carry you across the finish line. Not family, not the government, not some magical second wind. And that truth can crush you, or it can wake you up, because the power has always been yours. And there's a way to build a life of dignity, strength, and choice, no matter your age, but only if you lay the foundation before it's too late. There are 5 pillars that matter more than anything else. Build them now, and the years ahead can be the freest, most powerful of your life. It starts subtly. You avoid the stairs. You groan a little more getting out of bed. Maybe your jeans fit tighter or your blood pressure edges upward. Nothing dramatic, just small compromises that accumulate like dust in the corners. And for years, you tell yourself it's normal, just getting older. But here's what most people don't realize until it's too late. Health isn't about looking good in your 60s. It's about staying free in your 70s. Because when your body breaks down, so does your independence. One injury, one illness, and suddenly someone else is making your meals, driving you to appointments, managing your life. That's the real cost. Not pain, but powerlessness. Mobility is freedom. The ability to get up, go out, carry your own groceries, drive yourself to the beach or the bookstore. Those things are your life. Without them, the world shrinks fast. And yet, we treat health like a luxury. Like it's optional. But it's not. It's your foundation. It's your fortress. And it doesn't require perfection. It requires consistency. A brisk walk every morning. A few minutes of strength work that's easy on your joints. Prioritizing sleep, not just to rest, but because it's your body's repair shop. Health isn't about grinding harder. It's about protecting the machine that carries you through life. The truth? You don't need to be a marathon runner. You just need to stay in motion. You need to stretch what stiffens, strengthen what weakens, and protect what's still working. Because your body is the vehicle for your future. Keep it tuned, or will get stuck on the side of the road. There's a fantasy most people carry. A quiet picture tucked in the back of their mind. It goes like this: one day, you'll retire. Maybe there's a small house by the water. Maybe some travel, long mornings, grandkids visiting on weekends. No stress, just peace. But here's the hard truth that sneaks up on people. Peace isn't automatic, especially not financial peace. Costs rise, quietly but constantly. Healthcare becomes a bigger chunk. Groceries aren't what they used to be. The roof needs fixing. The car breaks down. And meanwhile, your income, that starts shrinking. Your ability to bounce back, even smaller. The golden years were never meant to be passive. Because the world doesn't stop changing just because you stopped working. But that doesn't mean you're powerless. It means you need a different kind of plan. Not a retirement dream. A peace fund. Money that lets you sleep at night, not fantasize during the day. It starts with cutting the anchors, old debt, bloated expenses, that habit of spending to feel secure. And it continues with simple, consistent investing, even if you're starting late. It's not about becoming wealthy. It's about becoming stable. Because here's something no one tells you. Financial literacy isn't about greed. It's about self-respect. It's looking your future in the eye and saying, I've got you. You don't need a yacht. You need options. You need to know that if life throws something at you, a diagnosis, a downer, a decision, you can respond, not react. Money, at its core, is choice. And choice is freedom. And freedom is peace. You don't need to be rich. You need to be prepared. There's a strange silence that settles in when the titles fade. You're no longer mom or dad in the same everyday way. The job that once filled your calendar and gave your day's direction, it's gone or winding down. And suddenly, you're left with space, time, stillness. At first, it feels like freedom. But then comes the question no one warned you about. Who am I? Without the roles I used to play, this is where many people get lost. Because we've been taught to anchor our identity to what we do. But what happens when we stop doing it? Here's the good news. Purpose doesn't retire. It evolves. And you're allowed, no, you're invited, to rediscover it. Maybe it's sharing what you've learned. Mentoring someone who's just starting the journey you've already walked. Maybe it's creating art, writing that book, finally starting something that's been whispering to you for years. Or maybe it's as simple as showing up for your community, your neighbors, yourself. And it's not just emotional fluff. Purpose is biological. Study after study shows it. People with a clear sense of purpose live longer, recover faster, and age better. It fuels the mind, strengthens the body, sharpens the spirit. So ask yourself, not out of pressure, but out of curiosity, what still excites you? What calls to you when everything else is quiet? What legacy do you want to leave, not just in memory, but in motion? Because here's the truth, you don't retire from purpose. You graduate into it. Some changes come like storm, others drift in like fog. But either way, life after 60 doesn't pull its punches. You lose people. You face regrets. Your body doesn't move the way it used to. And the world, at times, can feel like it's speeding up without you. But in the middle of all that is your mind. And how you meet life, how you frame it, face it, flow with it, becomes everything. Because resilience isn't about pretending everything's fine. It's about knowing you can get back up when it's not. It's looking at the past, not with bitterness, but with wisdom. It's saying, yes, that happened, and here's what I'm building with it. That's your superpower. And it's one you can train, just like a muscle, through habits like journaling, where you untangle the knots in your head before they harden into stories. Through mindfulness, where you teach your brain to breathe before it spirals. Through learning anything, really, because every new skill reminds you, I'm still growing. But more than anything, resilience is self-compassion, the quiet courage to forgive yourself, to let go of old roles, old expectations, even old versions of who you thought you'd be by now. Because life doesn't always give you closure. It gives you choices. And in the end, it's not what happens, it's what you build with it. No one tells you how quiet it can get. The kids grow up, move out, start their own busy lives. Old friends relocate or simply drift, separated not by miles but by time and change. And the days stretch out, not in freedom, but in silence. Loneliness isn't just a feeling, it's a health risk. Studies show it can be as harmful as smoking. But unlike genetics or aging, this is something you can change. Because connection doesn't have to be leftover from your past. It could be something you build intentionally now. You don't have to wait for people to come knocking. You can initiate. Join a group that reflects your passions. Say yes to the invitation. Or better yet, be the one who invites. Start conversations that go beyond small talk. Ask real questions. Share something honest. And don't be afraid to trim what no longer fits. The draining relationships. The people who only show up when they need something. You don't need a full guest list. You need a real circle. Because the right people, they reflect your values. They remind you who you are. They challenge you, cheer for you, sit with you in the hard moments, and laugh with you in the light ones. You're not too old to make new connections. You're not too late to find your people. You don't need a crowd. You need a circle that reflects your values and reminds you who you are. So here you are, standing at the threshold of what could be the most powerful chapter of your life. 5 pillars. Your health, because your body is your freedom. Your finances, because peace comes from preparation, not fantasy. Your purpose, because meaning doesn't expire. Your mindset, because storms are inevitable, but suffering is not. And your community, because we're wired for connection, and you get to choose your circle. No one is coming to save you. And that's not sad. That's powerful, because it means you can save yourself. You can build your future with your own hands, starting with whatever you've got right now. Maybe one of these pillars feels shaky. Maybe more than one. But the path forward isn't built in a day. It's built in decisions. Quiet, daily decisions that stack into strength. So ask yourself, which pillar do you need to reinforce? Start there. Start today. You don't need permission to take your life back. And if this spoke to you, drop a comment. Which pillar are you working on right now? We go deeper every week. Subscribe, and let's keep walking this path together.